Hello everybody and welcome to the stunning setting that is the Austrian Alps, home for round 4 of SKG Tier 1. Season 11 has been dominated by Williams so far, the Grove-based team picking up all 3 victories in the opening rounds and heading to the Red Bull Ring with over a 40-point lead in the Constructors' Championship. Here is the circuit that will play host to our drivers today. The shortest track on our calendar, just 2.68 miles, 10 turns and only a 200-metre dash up to turn 1. It's got 3 DRS zones, so plenty of overtaking opportunities. It's sure to be a thriller. Alright then, welcome in ladies and gents, back to SKG Tier 1 Season 11. My name is George Sanderson. Alongside me in the commentary box is Ethan, the McLaren team principal. Ethan, hello. Very good to have you here. Nice full lobby we seem to have as well.
Wow, yeah, it's very nearly full lobby. Unfortunately not 20 drivers on today's grid, but there is, I think, around 17 total, maybe.
And Ethan's right, 17 drivers taken to the grid for this 4th round of the season, 15 of them setting lap times in qualifying, all of those within a second of the pole time. And at the back of the grid, it is Zakopoulos and his RB teammate Panos, both of them not setting lap times in qualifying. Got Kafa lining up in 15th. Adrian makes his 89th start in Tier 1 from P14, alongside him Fantomina making just his 2nd. Then it's an all-Hungarian row 6 as the reserves of Balázs and Mr. Bus start 11th and 12th. Mr. Bus starting a run of 5 drivers in the 103.8s. Lufu gets his 3rd top 10 start in a row, and State Daisy is out-qualified by his teammate Talha by just 15 thousandths of a second. Ryan Banning makes his first appearance since the season opener with Berber in 6th. Wandy is out-qualified by his Aston Martin teammate for a 3rd consecutive race, and Josh Rose picks up his best ever qualifying position from P3. Tymon Bratman returns to the grid for the first time since the season's 7 finale, and Takubi picks up a sensational first pole position. And it'll be 5 red lights here at the Red Bull Ring. We go racing in Austria, and it's a lot of wheel spin from everyone there as Takubi is immediately jumped by the reserve in the McLaren. Tymon down the inside, but Takubi holds it round the outside.
There goes the Ferrari.
The Ferrari of Josh Rose is up into 2nd place. It's a fantastic start from him after a brilliant launch. Tymon is all the way down to 4th now and could be 5th as he looks to send it down the inside of the Ferrari, but has to back out. Takubi leads as we head down towards turn 4.
I did want to mention the majority drivers are the mediums. A couple of drivers choosing to go for them hard compound tyres, but it is the mediums for the majority.
Yeah, as we see there, Wandy gets past Catsby and Jacek. Coming out of turn 1, it wasn't the greatest of exits as Wandy goes a little bit deep at the top of the hill. That might see him come under a little bit of pressure from his teammate.
Yeah, Mr. Bust at the rear of the field has picked up end plate damage. I can see his front right end plate missing as he is dropping like a fly at the back of the field.
As we start lap 5, Josh Rose in the Ferrari. The championship leader as Takubi goes wide out of turn 1. That's going to leave him vulnerable to the Ferrari, who goes to the inside as we go up the hill towards turn 3. And he gets the job done before they even have to hit the brakes. Josh Rose takes the lead for the Ferrari. Takubi down to 2nd, and he'll now come under a bit of pressure from the Aston Martin of Wandy, who seems to have broken away from his teammate now, as Catsbear drops to almost a 2nd back in P4. Lock up on the front right there for Takubi, and potentially starting to struggle. We know from our own experiences in Tier 3 how much the tyres go off as Berber goes down the inside of Tymon Bratman. We got a lovely view of that from the helicopter cam, and that puts the Williams up into the top 5.
Yeah, do you like Ryan on the hards? Here he goes on the McLaren.
Down the inside, taking advantage at an unorthodox place to make a move, but the McLaren's trying to come back at him. There's contact between the two in the final corner there. Tymon drops down to P8.
Sticking with the DRS, the leader, the leader's train, and in P6, the only one on the hard tyres there. It's the lead.
As we see there from the camera angle, Tymon Bratman gets himself back up into P7.
It comes Wandy again. Oh, he had a little look again.
Yeah, I'm going to guess there's not going to be a move for 2nd place here, and there isn't. Josh Rose has made the move for the lead. got Kaffer picks up a 3-second penalty down in 15th place at the moment.
Oh, from wing for LWFW that.
Yes, Lofu replacing the front wing. We see Berber getting the move done down the inside of Wandy. He's up into 3rd place. Has jumped both of the Aston Martins. But now we keep an eye on this front battle as we head towards the pit lane. Is anyone going to come into the pits? That looks like the Ferrari of Josh Rose is sticking narrow to the side. He comes in, as does the second Aston Martin of Kacper Jędrzejczyk. So Aston Martin doing back-to-back pit stops, one lap after the other. Wandy was the lead driver. He got the call first, and now his teammate comes in straight after. Josh will strap on a fresh set of hards, and now we keep an eye on where Wandy is. So Wandy coming through the final corner at the moment. Has the undercut worked for the Aston Martin? It definitely has. Look at this. He is already coming into turn 1, exits the corner, and the Ferrari just coming out of the pits behind him. So that undercut has worked perfectly. Estate Daisy is out of the session, and that is on the track as well. That is out the final corner. Will there be a safety car for that one?
No safety car.
But,
yeah, definitely keep an eye on that. 10 seconds!
Oh, Berber. That is going to cost him big time, and realistically, he will now be praying for a safety car in this race so he can pit and get rid of that penalty without too much damage. Now your net race leader is Wandy, but for how much longer, as he has a Ferrari down his inside, and a Ferrari has gone past him. Josh Rose into the net race lead after the pit stops will be all done, and you can see here, everyone who has come in is now on a fresh set of the hard tyres, and these two just chasing each other down at the moment. Will Panos look for a move heading up the hill towards turn 3? Of course he will. These two know each other very well. They've battled many times over the seasons, and Panos gets himself up into 2nd place.
Yeah, he's gone long on the hard compound tyres with Adrian, so they are just DRS sharing as Josh Rose.
Yeah, Josh Rose around the outside of the Red Bull. That is a lovely move. It may be a lot fresher tyres on the Ferrari, but that still takes a lot of confidence to go around the outside at such a heavy braking zone. And now we get the move done as there's contact there. That was, a decent, like you say, a weird one. As they head up the hill, he also has Berber, who is going for the move on the kick Sauber. Could we be 3 wide heading up to turn 3? Oh, Berber squeezes into the gap just before Takubi gets there, gets down the inside and makes 2 moves in the space of 1 straight. Berber back up into 6th place. Yeah, Ryan Banning, Panos Veros and Adrian all into the pits, and Adrian becomes our 2nd driver to pick up a 10-second time penalty. And Josh Rose needs to benefit at some point from this battling behind him, because as Balaz out in the gravel trap, that is a safety car, and that has just been a huge lifeline as we try and find where the Haas is. There he is off in the barrier in the background. We just about saw him there with Mr. Bust's onboard view. Yeah,
Adrian and Berber have completed their 10-second penalty, stop-go penalties in the pit lane now, so they are back in it.
That could prove costly come at the end of the race. But,
wing damage! Wandy! As that kicks out, but there's absolute carnage.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there in the background, but definite damage for
Takubi.
You see it there. Yeah. He's lost the front left end plate on his kick Sauber as Josh has launched it away. Running 2nd and 3rd at the moment. They'll be hoping to really benefit here. Tell you who else is going to benefit. Panos Veros, as he looks to go round the outside of Timon Bratman. That is a fantastic move by the RB, and he gets himself up into 5th place. He had that position already on paper due to the penalties of the McLaren, but now he has it on track, and Takubi looks to potentially be coming into the pits.
Yeah, he's going to be coming in.
Yes, he is.
It's too bad, that damage.
It's time I'm thinking of a move into turn 1. I hope not. That's not a normal... That's definitely not a good place to go for an overtake. There, and it has cost him on the exit as Berber now looking to make the move on Ryan. He makes the move on the McLaren. Will he get 3 in 1 go? Berber down the inside. Gets them all in 1 go. Fantastic from the Williams. So Berber had a chance there, but just dropped a bit too far back, and instead has Panos closing the gap on him. And going for the move down the inside goes Panos, locks up on the front right, but gets the move done. A little bit of contact between the two of them. Yeah, Berber struggling there. Through turn 1, does not get an ideal run as Katsby and Jacek, I think, is making a move on his teammate. He's certainly thinking of it. And no, instead his teammate goes to the send on Josh Rose. And that is a wonderful move by the Aston Martin. He squeezes the Ferrari on the exit and Katsby says, thank you very much, teammate. I'll make that move stick and then I'll overtake you myself and get into the race lead. We have an Aston Martin.
It's a 1-2
with 4 laps to go. Panos definitely has the most battery of the top 4, but I tell you who has more than Panos. Big moment there from Panos on the exit turn 1. The man who has more battery than him, though, is Berber, and he's using some of it now as they go up the hill. He'll be forced to the outside, will he? No, he sends it! Panos! Down the inside! Oh my god, Panos, what's that?
Wow.
That was the latest of late braking. He was sideways heading into the apex there as he was locking up pretty much every tyre he had on that car. He got it stopped, but it cost him a position. Panos down to 5th place. And is that
Only lost one, though.
He only lost one, but is that all the hopes of an 11th and record-breaking victory, or even just a podium down the drain for the RB? It's going to be a big ask as we head towards the final lap. I can see an Alpine pulling out of the slipstream at the moment. Adrian's getting racy as they head up the hill. Ahead of him, Berber's getting racy himself as he looks to the move on Josh Rose, who in turn goes down the inside of the Aston Martin. That was very uncommitted from both of them there. Josh Rose forced the move, backed out, and then went back into the gap. There was contact between the two. Berber is down the outside of the Aston Martin, Katsby and Jacek. There is contact between them as they head through turn 3. Berber now goes outside to inside, but has to back out before turn 6. Wandy continues to lead as we drop down the hill now.
Well, surely that's just gifted Wandy the win.
I think it might do. He has 2 corners to go. All he needs to do is keep it clean, and surely this victory is his, but he's running low on battery bar, looks of it, as his teammate is closing up. Down the hill we go. Will anyone pick up a late penalty? No. Through the final corner and up to the line. It'll be a first win of the season for Wandy. It'll be a 1-2 for the Aston Martin team, and Berber on the podium. We've got a flip car in the background there as people spin over the finish line. It was drama right until the last here in Austria, and in the end, it's an Aston Martin 1-2. Wandy picks up his first career Tier 1 victory and finishes just a 10th of a second ahead of his teammate Katsby and Jacek, who also picks up the fastest lap. Berber recovers well from his speed in the pit lane penalty to finish on the podium, whilst Panos Veras goes from P16 to finish in 5th place. Down in 7th, Adrian picking up points in Tier 1 for the 70th time. Got Kaffer, Mr. Bus and Zakopoulos were your finishers outside of the points, whilst Takubi, Balash, Stay Daisy and Lufu all retired. And in terms of what that does in the drivers' standings, Wandy now climbs to the top of the table, but level on points with Josh Rose in 2nd place. Just a single point separating your top 3, with Williams and Berber in 3rd place. His teammate Top now only a point ahead of Katsby and Jacek. And outside of the top 8, Lufu drops down to P9 after his DNF in Austria, with Ryan Banning and Adrian entering the top 16. In terms of your constructors' standings, Williams still lead, but the gap closes at the top to just 12.5 points after Aston Martin pick up 1st, 2nd and the fastest lap in Austria. No changes in positions between any of the others, but Alpine remain the only team yet to get off the mark. And finally, in your overall constructors' standings, Williams continue to lead here as well, but a single point now separates Aston Martin and McLaren in that battle for 2nd. McLaren picking up victory in Tier 3. Haas claimed the win in Tier 2, they're in 5th place. Whilst towards the bottom, Alpine continue to struggle, but they're ahead of Stake Sauber in the overall standings. SKG will return for round 5 of the season from a mystery location decided on by our drivers. Make sure to follow us on all our social media, watch live on Twitch and subscribe right here on YouTube so you don't miss any of the action.